Over the last few weeks, I've tested myself like I've never done before, putting my trading skills to the test and getting amazing results and gains just by trading meme stocks. Yesterday, I saw over a 3,000% gain with GameStop almost overnight thanks to Roaring Kitty and noticing this huge daily breakout an entire 3 weeks beforehand, which is exactly how Doug from my trading community was able to pay off his house from this simple trade, and Scott was able to make over $96,000 in one day. And most of you were probably asleep or you didn't get the news in time to hear about this huge opportunity. So if you want to know exactly what me and my community did to find this trade, and you're looking for the best way to make money with meme stocks, then I promise by the end of this video, you're going to learn our step-by-step process to winning with trading. But before you can make money, you have to realize what is currently stopping you. Right now, you're making one huge mistake holding you back from paying off your house or even making an easy 5, 6, or even 7-figure trades just like GameStop was. The one mistake holding you back is not knowing when these trades are going to play out, which is crucial information. Because opportunities this big come up every other month, it feels like, but if you don't know exactly how to find trading opportunities, going on Reddit is not the simplest place to pick out information, and you definitely won't have success watching the news or YouTube videos to learn about what is going on currently. So if you want to know exactly how my community and I find unique opportunities in the market just like this one, I'm going to share this simple method we use to identify and double down on huge wins inside the community. So not only do we get paid, the whole family makes money too. So if you're wondering who I am, my name is Andrew, and I went from a corporate 9-to-5 finance professional to living the best life I can by trading options. And now I help others profit from the markets by using insane opportunities like GameStop to win big. So if you want to pay off your house like Doug did, and you're struggling to find opportunities just like this trade, watch this video, watch until the very end, and I will reveal everything you need to know about making profitable trades. Okay, so I know a lot of you guys are probably wondering how I actually found this GameStop trade, and it wasn't a pure lotto. It wasn't something that just came up overnight and we were able to capitalize on. This is a setup that we've been watching for a few weeks, going all the way back into mid-April. We had identified this in our community, and one of our pro traders, Swaggy, actually said that this was a setup that he was looking at for a potential major breakout for something huge that was going to happen. Now, what happened last week was really interesting. I find myself being a very good technical trader. I use technical analysis a lot when it comes to trading. One of the key principles that I use is key levels and technical patterns. And so as you can see here on the screen, what we saw happening last week on GameStop was that we came up to a daily level here and we couldn't get over this daily level. And then we finally were able to break over this daily level. And after that, we saw a massive move. So leading up into last week, we had multiple days where we could not get over this 1650 key level that I had identified. It was now resistance and it was prior support in the past going back into the end of 2023 in the month of December. We noticed that we also had a resistance up here at about $18.45. So when we broke out on the daily time frame here on May 9th, we had a day where GameStop went up about 13% on the day. Our weekly contracts absolutely went ballistic on this day. And the very next day, we actually gapped up even higher over that 1845 level. Now, a lot of you might ask when you trade options, should you trade weekly options? Should you trade monthly options? Should you buy options that expire a year from now? Anytime that I'm playing a technical pattern on a daily time frame, I'm going to look at trying to take advantage of the volatility that I'm going to see on a weekly option contract. Now, the thing to remember is that those weekly option contracts are going to be a lot less in price compared to, say, monthly leap options or yearly leap options. And the reason for that is because it's much more risky and there's much more volatile results that could happen from purchasing, a weekly option versus going to a monthly or even a yearly option. In this instance, what we did was we were buying weekly options during the week of May 9th, and then we were buying options that expired this week, May 17th, and the result was pretty unreal. So what happened was we had the daily breakout, and then over the weekend, Roaring Kitty, who had not tweeted since the GameStop saga back in 2021, actually tweeted out on his Twitter for the first time in 3 years, and the next morning we saw absolute madness ensue, and you can see here what happened. The very next day, GameStop actually ended up being up 75% on the day. That Monday morning, we actually hit a high on GameStop of 38.20. After just 3 days ago, we were all the way down at $15 per share. The very next day, he continued to tweet And the results, again, were a ballistic move all the way up to a high of $64.83. And you can see here, I had identified a key level on GameStop at 41.85, with the next level being 66.14. And you can see once we broke 41.85, it was a very clear shot that day all the way up to 66.14 before we came all the way back down. Now, during this, there were multiple halt ups and halt downs, and halts typically happen when there's volatility in a stock. The exchanges like to halt these names to make sure that, investors are protected and that all of the orders can get through securely. That is basically how we found a massive opportunity on GameStop. And what I want to do now is go into the 5-minute chart and kind of show you what this looked like from a 5-minute perspective every single day when we got these massive moves. So as you can see here, this is the 5-minute chart, and you can see down here, we had just broken down on Friday. We broke through that 1845 level, and this is where the Roaring Kitty tweets really started, was early Monday morning, and he tweeted these on Sunday evening as well. And the result was a massive move up into open, where we opened up actually at $26.33 at 9:30 in the morning Eastern. And then by the time of 10:10 Eastern, we had hit a high of 38.16, going massive moves all the way up. And then we halted back down. We traded sideways. The tweets continued throughout the day on Monday from Roaring Kitty's account, and they continued into the night on Monday and even going into Tuesday as well. And you can see the result was a massive gap up on Tuesday, going all the way in the pre-market session from 41.85, that key level that I had identified before, all the way up to our next level at 66.14, shooting to a high of $80 per share on GameStop by Tuesday morning in the pre-market session. Now, the next day resulted in gap downs and trading sideways, but all of this to say that the volatility that happened with GameStop was something that we saw happening weeks before it actually happened, and we took advantage of it. And people like Doug paid off their entire home mortgage with profits that they used from trading on GameStop. People like Scott also made $96,000 in one day. And our pro trader Swaggy, who had actually called this trade out weeks before it happened, was able to profit about $175,000 in just 3 weeks' time. Now, it might look like this just happened overnight, but this was a trade that we were really prepared on based on this daily setup and daily time frame. We took the weekly call options the week before. We took the next week options as well, just in case there was news that came out over the weekend. And the setups like this that we identified and that we alert in real time in our community on voice and on text are the alerts that basically allowed someone like Doug to make, enough money to pay off his entire mortgage on Monday. People like Scott made $96,000 in a single day. In fact, our pro trader Swaggy, who had been all over this GameStop trade since the beginning of April, was able to profit over $170,000. And then myself, between GameStop and AMC, was able to make close to $45,000 on these meme stocks just in the last week. It was absolutely crazy, and this is something that a lot of people would look at and say, this had to have been a gamble, this had to have been a lottery type of play, when in fact, this was a play that was based on technical analysis, and we rode the momentum and we rode the wave of social media, and we absolutely squeezed the shorts on GameStop. So that's exactly how I find profitable ideas to trade and make quick gains like I did with GameStop. You can absolutely take everything I said in this video and apply it to your own trading strategy, but chances are that you will run into a ton of confusion in doing so. But to completely avoid the confusion as a beginner or even an experienced trader, you need to follow traders ahead of you with more experience, which is why my one-on-one mentorship, where I help you learn everything to make money trading, is perfect for you. Now, if you're interested, click the link in the description, but as always, thanks for watching.